like to feel like a princess during sex. So anything involving pain is
Pillow
just,
princess.
Well, not a pillow princess. I just like to feel like a princess because I'm going to get to work.
But
I'm not just laying
well,
there.
I was educated on that too. Pillow princess are not starfish. That's different.
Yeah, but they just want to be serviced. They want everything on them.
No, not necessarily.
What do they do?
I was told this by a professional, Nina
What
Hartley.
did they say?
She's, an educator, and she said that Pillow Princess likes to get involved as well, but her favorite thing is to lay back and be serviced. But that doesn't mean that she can, also service their partner. It's just more of like less of the aggressor, I guess.
Oh, yeah, I can be pretty aggressive when I'm ready for sex, especially after a few shots of tequila. Sometimes
they
it's
can
a little
fall asleep
embarrassing.
on you.
They better not. I would cry.
I
would cry.
I am going home.
Yeah, and I'm going to talk about it on the show.
Yeah, if someone fell asleep when I'm having sex with them, I'd be like, first of all, I feel like as a dude, that's like a huge.
I have done that though, falling
you fall
asleep.
asleep on someone, and do they keep going or?
I don't know what happened. I was asleep. But he didn't leave. I mean, I was at his place. We were drunk though.
Yeah.
Right.
And I knew I fell asleep. So
yeah.
the next morning when I woke up, I got things started because I did feel bad. I didn't want to fall asleep. But sometimes you're just like, when your phone is about to die and it's just like, no more battery. That was me. No more battery. I was out.
No more battery.
You were in the red zone.
Mm-hmm.
I hear you.
Dang.
Maybe one more.
Oh, I'm going to go shallow.
Okay. Well, I had a question about ants, but I think we covered that one. This one is, you can pass on this if you don't like. Have you ever farted during sex, and how do you handle it?
Yes. First of all, we did an ick list, and I don't think I said this on my ick list, or maybe I did, but
Wait, what's Ickless?
when you just kind of go down the list of things you hate, just all
Ickless.
things life.
I
Yeah.
was like, what the hell is an Ickless?
And I really hate when people just fart. I don't think it's funny. I don't like when my boyfriend does it. I'm always like, how could you do that? Like, I just go and excuse yourself. I hate it. I get things happen, but that is rude. At least give somebody a warning. We locked in the car on the plane and you just busting farts.
Yeah.
So, but
I get embarrassed when I fart.
especially, and it's like when you do those little silent farts, they're horrid. Like,
It's like,
what's
oh my
the way?
God.
Let's try to air it out. People just be farting and thinking, oh, fart. It's not funny. Like,
What about if you're getting a
I'm with
massage
you.
and it seeps out? That's really
That almost happened
I've
to me
never done
last
that.
week. And I was so nervous because I'm laying on my stomach and he's massaging me really good and getting everything moving. And I was like, oh God, I feel gas. And so I was like clenching up my booty hole real
and then
tight, trying to keep it in. And then I'm like,
horrible.
don't let it come back up through the top because I
Oh
really
my
hate
God.
burping.
I would rather a burp than a fart.
I would rather a fart because then you can taste it.
No, but a burp,
Oh
you have
my
to burp
God.
at least is not as disgusting as a fart.
Nah, I
And it
feel
doesn't
like the
linger
burp
as long.
I feel like the burp is worse. I hate burps. Like when I smell people burp, it always smells like Doritos, and I hate it. It makes me want to throw up in my mouth.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
but the fart, that's mortifying.
leave.
Thank God I put a candle out.
My very first real boyfriend in life, I was in high school, and this was one of the first times I was ever getting head. And he was like, I was already nervous because it's like, when you're doing oral sex for the first time, it's just nerve-wracking. You don't know what you're doing.
Wait, can I ask, you were giving or getting?
I was getting.
Oh, so you were getting.
Yeah, I was laying on the pillow.
Pillow princess.
Yes. And he was down there and he was eating me out. And I was like, oh, this feels so good. And it was just like, and I was like, it wasn't a queef. It was a fart. And I was like, oh my God. And he was under the covers, like, it wasn't like the covers were pulled back and there was air. He came back up from the covers and he was like, why would you do it? He was like, and I couldn't control it because it was so wet and juicy down there. It just seeped out. It smelled like gasoline. His dick instantly went hard, and he was like, I'm going home. And I get it, because it was the disrespect of farting in somebody's face.
Not
and I
hard.
didn't.
Gross.
It was gross. I felt gross. And it was like trapped in it was just, even after we were having the argument, I was just like, I'm sorry, you could still smell the fart. It was just bad. It was
Horrible.
bad.
It's
It
so
was-
mortifying. But why is it if you think about it, you could have no control over it.
I had no
Because it
control.
stinks. It's like even if you try to let it go, then you smell it again, and it's like I'm mad again.
Yeah.
Sometimes farts don't smell.
Sometimes I don't,
Let
but
me
it's
just-
never in the moment when you need it not to
Right.
smell.
Right.
I'm going to give you a little preview. As you get older, by the way, women, you tend to fart more.
I do be farting.
I could be farting
Yeah.
in line at Target, and it's like, did that just come out of me? I'm just walking and farting.
Are they?
But they're not smelly. But they're not
That's
smelly.
good.
One time, me and my boyfriend were in Spencer's, and I don't know why we was in Spencer's.
I was just gonna say, what were
it
you
felt
doing in
nostalgic.
there?
We were in the
Okay.
mall. And I was like, let's go into Spencer's. We're in Spencer's. And you know how dark and crowded Spencer's is? It's very small. Every Spencer's is small. It's like a little comic shop. So there was a worker. He's on the ground, on his knees, stalking an area of the shelf. We walk past and we stopped, and I was looking at something, and I smelled something just ignorant. And I was like, I know you did not just, and I'm looking at my boyfriend, and he was looking at me. He's like, I didn't do it. I know how his fart smells. I was like, you did that. I looked down. The worker's like, oh my God. It was so, I was like, we have to leave because this is trailing you. Why would you do that?
Poor
like-
guy. He was probably like, I don't want to be at work. Everybody's called
And now
off.
people's
I just want to
farting
go
in my
home.
head. We farted on his head.
I hate that. By the way, your father,
No.
Cam's father, used to fart in the car and quote unquote seal the car.
And see, people think that's funny.
That's rude.
I have an attitude the rest of the trip.
That's in the child-proof windows and everything are on, and I'm like, I am going to die in here.
Oh,
Yeah.
Because
my
it's
fucking
just,
God.
it's like crop dusting the whole car.
When
It's
I was
horrible.
a kid, I went to BBC Larson Academy. There was this little boy named Chad Spencer, and I remember we were sitting in line. You know how you had to do this for everybody to be quiet. Did y'all have to do that in line?
Oh, yeah.
Probably.
We
Yeah.
had to
What
go
is
like
that?
this to let the teacher know you're listening, and you had to be quiet. And Chad Spencer came. I was just paying attention, being good, and he came and tapped me on my shoulder and did like this and farted.
No way.
And that's probably what started my trauma of farts.
Probably.
And I told on
when
him.
when someone farts on you, it's offensive.
That is
so rude. It's like a slap in the face.
It's aggressive,
It's
right?
aggressive.
It's
Yeah.
aggressive.
I know what you're thinking.
What?
My boyfriend just said,
You called him out last night for doing this.
I
To
can't-
me.
He
just
farted on
walked
you,
up to
a
you
grown
and
man?
At one point, right?
No, it was a few months ago.
Oh, a long
A
time
grown
ago.
man farted on another grown man, which was you.
Yes, I
Yes.
was not fucking pleased
He was
about
just
that.
like laying on the
bet.
couch, and he just happened to be focused on Cam, like we're the way we are right now. And he had his feet up, and all of a sudden, and I'm like, "What the hell are you doing that to Cam for? What are you
Get the
farting?"
fuck out of here.
Yeah, you gotta
Very
go.
offensive.
It's very rude.
You called him out last night
So
on this
nasty.
shit.
Especially
So
when you
rude.
opened up a pathway for a fresh fart to come out. You're not even trying to smother it.
He didn't try to smother it. He doesn't. I'm like, what if you're in a business meeting? Would you be farting out like that? He goes, I can't help it. I have a stomachache. I'm like, no. You can't
Go
help
to the
it.
restroom.
I do
Go to the restroom and fart there.
That's how I feel. But it's interesting because when you are in professional settings and there's a fart smell that just is released, and I be looking at everybody like, who looks like they
Yeah.
would do this?
It's really funny. Yeah.
You ever be looking at people like, who did
I know
it?
it was him.
Oh, and I get
Yeah.
called out if I do it and I think I got away with it, and then one of my kids will be like, "Mom," I'm like, "Fuck."
You get called out a lot.
I get called out, and it's
Yeah.
not my fault.
Yeah, I know.
Like I
it's not.
try as hard as I can.
I
I'll clench that
understand.
shit together. I got Kegels to worry about, that asshole to worry about. Gotta worry about all these things.
She's clenching.
I'm clenching at all times, trying to hold everything in.
Mom, do you have any mom's news for
Mom's
us?
news,
Mom's
mom's
news.
news.
Mom's news.
Actually, what's funny is this is very appropriate in lieu of the question of the week.
Okay, so for those of you just tuning in, Mom's News is the segment of the show where my mother shares earth-shattering, groundbreaking, need-to-know information. What do we got this
This
week,
is
Mother?
from The Mirror, my best source of information.
The Mirror, which is a tabloid from the UK.
Yes. Akash, I can't pronounce his last name, 28, is so besotted with his collection of inflatable partners that he could burst. Every morning I wake up to saying good morning and give a kiss to my balloons that sleep beside me and vice versa.
She sleeps
Okay.
by balloons?
Yes. When they become inflated, I think that's when they're born. I talk to them, take them shopping for a walk in my garden. They do talk to me through dreams and telepathy. The balloon should have the freedom and the chance to see the world, and that is the reason why I walk with them everywhere. Well, he later goes on to say that he marries the balloons. And they are his floating lovers. So he got down on one knee and proposed. Since I've confessed my love for my balloons, my life has changed for the better. Okay.
What is going on?
What is going on?
This is the most attractive thing I
really
find.
concerned.
I feel safe and I'm calm with him, and vice versa, as he often gets killed for fun. That struck me. The balloon gets killed for fun. There are people out there that kill balloons for fun, and he's saying that they're real people.
So he's like birthing these balloons?
He births them, and then he marries them, and he falls in love with them, and he sleeps with them, and he takes them on walks in the garden.
I wonder how long they last. Like
Yeah.
what type of helium
Lifetime.
is he?
I mean, he's
The lifetime of a balloon can be
I-
like an hour.
Yeah, seriously.
I filtered out some other part of the article, but basically he has to keep them away from any sharp objects. 'Cause their lifespan will diminish if he doesn't.
Did it specify what type of balloons these are? Are these like helium balloons, birthday balloons?
They did not specify, actually.
Because if you get them from Party City, you can get the special helium and they last for like 16 to 18 hours.
It's a long life.
Yeah.
It's a long life. This guy's
going through a lot of grieving.
no. It sounds like
Every
he's
day.
very happy.
Wow.
They have
Just
pictures.
replaces
If anybody
them.
wants to see it, it's online on the Mirror.
Now imagine going to his place, going on a date with somebody. They don't have ants, they have balloons. And he's like, this is Tabitha.
And then you're like, oh, this one's cute. And your nail pokes it.
And he's
Oh,
like,
yeah,
oh,
you
the
guys-
place you have murdered my what, sir?
We're done. Wow.